Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez retain against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Raw highlights and fallout. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we've got some truly surprising and heartwarming news from the WWE Universe. Monday night, Raw delivered yet another unforgettable tag team classic as the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez put their titles on the line against a powerful and unexpected pairing, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. This wasn't just another title defense. This was personal. This was intense. This was emotional. With Bayley still reeling from betrayal and accusations following WrestleMania, and Lyra Valkyria stepping into the spotlight with a chip on her shoulder, the two had something to prove, not just to the WWE Universe, but to themselves. But Raquel and Roxanne, they become one of the most cohesive and dominant women's tag teams WWE has seen in years. Youth, power, resilience, and chemistry, all rolled into one. What followed was an absolutely brutal, fast-paced, high-stakes encounter that tested loyalty, trust, and sheer endurance. Tonight, we break down every detail of the match, what it means for the women's tag division, and how this could change the landscape heading into SummerSlam. This is your full Raw highlights breakdown of Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, and how the champions held on by the skin of their teeth. Let's rewind the clock to 3 weeks before this epic showdown. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez had successfully defended their titles against several formidable teams, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, the Kabuki Warriors, and even a surprise appearance by NXT's Jacy Jayne and Thea Hale. But the tag division was heating up. Bayley, after being betrayed by Io Sky and publicly humiliated before WrestleMania, was determined to refocus her career. No more damage control, no more distractions. Bayley wanted gold again. And Lyra Valkyria, she was the wild card. After a hard-fought match against Becky Lynch weeks prior and an emotional promo about being overlooked since her main roster call-up, Lyra had one message. It's time for the Valkyria era. It was Triple H who pulled the strings, announcing on Raw that Bayley and Lyra would be teaming up for one night only to challenge Raquel and Roxanne for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. The WWE Universe was surprised and curious. Could these two competitors from two very different eras and wrestling philosophies actually work together? Bayley and Lyra had never teamed up before. In fact, they had only crossed paths once backstage. But in their first sit-down interview, Lyra made it clear. Bayley knows what it means to win gold. I know what it means to fight for everything. That makes us dangerous. Meanwhile, Raquel and Roxanne were calm and confident. They knew this wouldn't be easy, but they weren't backing down. Raquel, we've beaten teams with better chemistry. Let them come. Raw was live from Chicago, and the crowd was red hot from the moment the show started. Bayley and Lyra Valkyria made their entrance first. Bayley sporting her old-school ring gear, a nod to her roots. Lyra wore her feathered cloak, eyes locked on the ring with laser focus. Then came the champs. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, belts raised high, soaking in cheers. The bell rang, and the action was instant. Roxanne and Lyra started the match, giving fans a glimpse of what the future of WWE Women's Wrestling looks like. They chain wrestled for a good 90 seconds, wrist locks, drop-toe holds, kip-ups. Respect shown, but neither woman let up. Lyra hit a beautiful cartwheel dropkick. Roxanne countered with a head scissors takedown. Tag to Raquel. Tag to Bayley. Now it was power versus ring general. Bayley tried to chop Raquel down with low kicks and rope-assisted neck breakers, but Raquel's strength was too much. She caught Bayley midair during a springboard elbow and power-bombed her into the turnbuckle. The crowd went nuts. Momentum shifted when Lyra pulled Roxanne off the apron, causing the ref to get distracted. Bayley used the moment to hit a brutal Bayley to belly on Raquel. 2 count. Bayley and Lyra kept up the pressure with double-team combos, drop-toe hold into a sliding knee, assisted drop-kick into the corner, and even a double suplex on Raquel that got a gasp from the audience. Roxanne finally got the hot tag and exploded into the match. Running uppercuts, shotgun dropkicks, and a slick Russian leg sweep followed by a code red on Lyra for a close 2 count. Just as the champions regained momentum, the match descended into absolute chaos. Raquel launched Lyra out of the ring with a spinning slam, while Roxanne tried to lock in a crossface on Bayley. But Bayley rolled her up. 1, 2, no. Roxanne kicked out just in time. On the outside, Lyra grabbed a steel chair. The ref caught her and yanked it away, but the distraction allowed Bayley to hit a blindside knee to Roxanne's face. Another near fall. Bayley grew frustrated and began mocking the crowd, calling them idiots and yelling that she should be champion right now. Meanwhile, Lyra climbed to the top rope, but Raquel caught her and threw her into the barricade. Roxanne managed to counter Bayley's Rose Plan attempt with a roll-up into the corner and finally tagged Raquel back in. The powerhouse cleared the ring. Big boots, lariats, side slams. She tossed Bayley across the ring like a rag doll and hit a thunderous Tajana bomb. But Lyra broke up the pin at the last second. Chicago was roaring. All 4 women were down at one point. The ref began a count. At 8, they all rose and began exchanging strikes. Bayley and Roxanne, Lyra and Raquel. Forearms, kicks, screams. It felt like a war. In the final moments, the match reached an entirely new level. Bayley hit a superplex on Roxanne, but held on, trying to transition into a second move. But Raquel tagged in blindly. Bayley didn't see it. As she pulled Roxanne into position for a second suplex, Raquel entered, lifted Bayley onto her shoulders, and dropped her with a twisting powerbomb. Meanwhile, Roxanne recovered just enough to dropkick Lyra off the apron. With Bayley dazed, Raquel tagged Roxanne back in. The crowd rose. Raquel lifted Bayley up, and Roxanne hit a diving blockbuster from the top rope, sending Bayley crashing to the mat in unison. 1, 2, 3. The bell rang. Winners and still WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. The crowd gave a standing ovation. The champs celebrated, raising their titles and embracing in the center of the ring. But it wasn't over yet. As Raquel and Roxanne walked up the ramp, Lyra entered the ring to help Bayley. Bayley shoved her away. The crowd went silent. Bayley, furious, stood up and got in Lyra's face. Cameras picked up the audio as Bayley yelled, "You let me down. You said you had my back." Lyra shouted back, "I did. You lost it." Bayley shook her head in disgust and exited the ring, not even looking back. Lyra stood alone in the ring, visibly disappointed. Backstage moments later, Kathy Kelly tried to get a word with Bayley. Bayley snapped, "I'm done playing nice. Done trusting people. Done losing. This ends now. All we know is that Raw delivered, and this chapter is far from over." If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more weekly WWE storytelling, match analysis, and superstar drama. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, stay fierce, and never stop believing in the power of a great match.